Good afternoon. It's another garden walk round. It's 3rd of August, Saturday. It's about 12:05. Temperature's about 18. And it's a wee bit on the windy side. And I've let this hedge grow up here and it's flowered, and it does attract the bees, which is really good. And there's quite a number of them up there. I don't know whether you can see them floating about. And this flower is just coming along well. It's going to burst into flower in the next week or so. These things didn't do terrifically well. The flowers disappeared. I don't even know the name of them. I've got a bit of colour, I have to admit. I was interested this morning. Monty Dawn, the gardener, one of the traditional type gardeners that I like, was on, and he said, "Where are the butterflies this year?" Well, I've been saying, where are the butterflies over the last number of years, last 5 years in particular. Fewer and fewer butterflies, and even white butterflies, they're not about. We rarely see a butterfly in the garden. I've seen one tortoiseshell in the last few months in this garden, and there's plenty of colour and there's plenty of flower heads, and yet no butterflies. Now, I have seen meadow brown on our pram walk. I have seen speckled wood. But not only that, you know, I'm doing the garden, I'm doing the weeding every day or every other day, and you gotta say to yourself, where are the insects? I'm just after doing the hoovering in the house, and whenever I was growing up in Banbridge as a wee lad, in round, you know, there'd always be 8 or 9 flies flying around inside the house, and you'd find a whole pile of dead flies in round any glass area, any window where they were trying to get out. And you just don't see that anymore. Where are the insects? Even spider numbers are way down. Flowers are doing well. There's plenty of colour there. I didn't even plant any wildflowers this year. Planted Chris's poppies, and they've done really well. There's our wood store in there. Prepping for the winter time. Nasturtiums, poppies. This is Chris's big fluffy poppy heads like carnations, and these are the seed pods, which I'm going to actually keep this year. The Virginia creeper, you know, it's really reddening up very early, and we're only at the 3rd of August, and you say to yourself, you know, what's happening? We're not into autumn yet, but the Virginia creeper leaves are falling. I have watered this, so I don't know what's happening. There's leaves down, as you can see, in at the back. The ivy's coming over the top of the wall, so I need to do something about that. Honeysuckle, didn't do particularly well at all. We had so much rain this year. Some people put it down to the amount of rain and overcast conditions that we've experienced since last autumn. Some people put our lack of butterflies down to that. I remember our buddleia down in the Lower Braniel Road. Our buddleia had 17 or 18 butterflies on it. Assorted tortoiseshells, peacock, red admiral. We even had painted ladies coming in. But one tortoiseshell this summer so far. What is going on? And as I say, people are saying it's because of the heavy rainfall we experienced right over winter and spring and into summer. There's the gladioli up, and there's the orange lily that hasn't even flowered yet. I love those gladioli. And that's the verbunion or something or other. And this is a different variety of it. I do love those gladioli. The ice cream colour. And people sort of seem to forget about insects. Our insect numbers are definitely down. I mean, I can even see that. Without insects and butterflies, flies, wasps, bees. I have seen quite a number of bees, but they're not coming into our garden. Whenever you cut down on those numbers, then you don't get pollination. Love these for the colour as well. And Tanya told me the name of them the other day and I can't remember. There's one wasp. And Nash or Ryan's, you know, the berries are all on it. And it's only the 3rd of August. What's going on? And the farmers have been out cutting these fields like Billio, try and make up their grass complement. So that's basically all. My garden walk around. Weather hasn't been too bad. But we rarely get a day full of sunshine. This year didn't do well at all. This year, don't know why. On the other side, it was pretty hopeless as well. Just a few blooms on it. And I did water this. Oh, I don't know. And we've got plenty of rain. So, it's an up and down picture in the garden. It's a depressing picture for the lack of butterflies. Somebody explained to me the lack of butterflies. I mean, they're way down. And the lack of garden insects that you would expect to see. Wee creepy crawlies and hoverflies and all the rest of it. They're just absent. They're not here. And it's just so disappointing. Nobody says anything about it. Nobody seems to remark about it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's just my garden. But I've asked around other people. I asked a gardener in, where was it we were? Hillsborough Gardens. Hillsborough Castle Gardens. And I asked this gardener that was tending the big walled garden there, which is probably one of the best in Northern Ireland. And he says no butterflies this year. Hopefully they'll bounce back next year. But this has been, what, 4 or 5 years on the trot where butterfly numbers are negligible. Now, as I speak, I've just spotted a tortoiseshell floating about there and just disappeared. Oh dear, one butterfly. Let's hope they come back. And let's hope the powers that be in nature conservation, try and do something about this, because nobody's talking about this. I haven't heard them. It's not in the media. Sorry to be on a downer, but I don't like things like this happening. So that's our wee garden walkabout for today. See you soon. And here's a news article that my good YouTube friend Sean noticed in the BBC News. Concerns over record low butterfly and moth counts. You remember whenever you used to drive along, a bit of a journey, 30-40 miles, and you would have to clean your windscreen of all the insects that had flown into the windscreen at speed. You don't have to do that anymore. Where have all those insects gone? So here's the article. Conservationists are becoming concerned as butterfly counters mark lowest numbers in 14-year history. And it's by a lady called Ita Dungan. It's the 3rd of August 2024. Missing the sun this summer, it turns out we're not the only ones. Butterflies need dry weather and heat to flourish, something they have just not been getting enough this year. Well, I would say for the past 5 years. And this has conservationists worried. With just one day left to go to the annual butterfly conservation big butterfly count, participants have so far recorded the lowest numbers ever in the 14-year history of the biggest citizen science project in UK. Now, this strikes me as rather strange in that so many acres of ground have been given over to rewilding and such, but you can't do much to stop the weather being overcast and rainy, and this will drive butterfly and insect numbers down, obviously, moth numbers in particular too. Inge Mueller combines her love of moths and butterflies with her day job. As a butterfly and moth recorder, she makes a mental note of the butterflies she sees and does her County Londonderry postal round and fills in the results that she clocks off on, or when she clocks. Oh dear, I'll say that again. And she fills in the results when she clocks off. Obviously, she's a post worker. She says this year's results are not promising. It's definitely not good, she tells BBC Northern Ireland. In 3 weeks in July and August, there are so many days that there's nothing to report. Butterflies aren't the only insect absent. Fewer moths. You used to see 30 or 40 in one night in your moth trap. Now you're only seeing 2 or 3. That tells me something. That some of the common species are not doing well. And then we've got a comment from Rosie Irvin of Butterfly Conservation, says habitat loss, pesticide, and she's saying climate change are all impacting butterfly numbers. Well, so This year's fall in numbers has been exacerbated by wet spring and late arrival of summer temperatures. Well, I would say previously wet autumn as well. Butterflies also need warm and dry conditions to fly around and mate. So many different problems causing low count numbers. Butterfly numbers have already declined by 80% in the UK since the 1970s, according to Butterfly Conservation. Means the species is less resilient to the challenges of weather. What can be done? All is not lost. And she's talking about sort of creating a space in the garden and all the rest of it. Providing a nectar source. But you know, these are just wee small things you can do. But it's hard getting people to do this. Grow nasturtiums for cabbage whites, small whites and large white butterflies, and things like sweet rocket for orange-tipped butterflies. I haven't seen an orange-tipped butterfly in years. Ms. Irwin says butterflies act as an indicator of how healthy our ecosystems are. Numbers fluctuate as a warning sign of changes in habitat, changes in land use and changes in climate. Well, I would say it's more like changes in weather. Feed, breed and shelter. Create your own mini. This isn't going to be good enough. This has to be tackled on a UK basis. And what about having butterfly farms and moth farms to grow these things? Not to rely on individual people, but what do I know?